Thank you for joining us. It's an honor to welcome you here as a esteemed guest. To start our discussion, I have one question. How does your expertise in corporate strategy and mining operation align with promoting environmentally sustainable practices in the industry?
So this is a bouncer actually. So good morning everyone, and I am very happy to with all of you sitting here, young people. Yes, I think per se when you say mining industry, it is an extractive industry. Obviously, it takes from Mother Nature something out, right? However, in the mining itself, you can make it much more sustainable. Mother Nature has given us minerals which are supposed to be used for betterment of human and human life. Having said that, we need to ensure that whatever Mother Earth gives us gets utilized. What we have seen in the past is that, let's say, for example, I'm in a steel company, so iron ore and coal are the main minerals which are used. We have found in the past that only those minerals are used which can go directly into steel making, and the ones which are not as per the quality required are left, which are wasted. However, in the last few decades now, everything that the Mother Earth gives is to be used. You need to beneficiate, you use technology. What happens is that reduces consumption. So for just to give you example, if when I joined Tata Steel in 1988, for every ton of steel that we used to make, iron ore required was above, let's say, 2 tons. Today it is like 1.3, 1.4 tons. Similarly, water consumption. Water consumption used to be very, very high. Today it is, we are working towards 1 to 2 meter cube per ton of crude steel. Per ton. The reason I am saying all this to you is that you are in the extractive industry, you use minerals, but ensure that whatever comes out from Mother Earth, you are able to use it beneficially and not waste, by virtue of which you do not extract more. That is one. Second is at the end use, which is steel, then you'll have aluminium, you'll have bauxite goes there, and so on and so forth. Technologies have also advanced quite a lot. The water example that I took, it's only because the steel making technology has advanced so much that you do not use that kind of water anymore. So you do not keep asking for water from the natural resources. Second is you recycle, you reuse. So whether it is mining or whether any of the minerals that you get, you try and use first, then you recycle, you reuse. In steel making, now we are looking at going towards scrap usage for steel making. That will ease out pressure from iron ore and coal as well. So these are some examples where we can lead sustainably and ensure that we do not use or misuse more than that is required. I remember Mahatma Gandhi had once said that this planet Earth has everything to fulfill our needs but not our greed, right? And that goes on. That's an immortal statement.
Thank you, sir. And my second question is, what role do you see CSR initiative playing in preserving and valuing resources like the Himsagar while balancing the demand of mining and environmental conservation?
So just to mention that this, first of all, the third pole or the Himsagar region that is called, it's a very, very highly sensitive ecosystem, right? It has the highest species of flora and fauna. It has a huge amount of water holding capacity, which feeds, which only doesn't even give birth to the rivers, but it also feeds a lot of people. As per my estimation, it is anywhere from 30, 40 to 50% of the world's population, because the rivers flow down, and we know traditionally wherever you have a water body, civilizations start there, right? So it works that way. I think what I was saying initially, that sustainable mining can prove to be sustainable for the ecosystem as well. But if you do rampant mining without any plans in place and so on and so forth, it is surely going to have a negative impact. What we see in climate change today is primarily on the way we have been living. Nature has a way of getting back. Nature only does the way things should be done. I belong to Jammu and Kashmir. I can give you some examples from there, that when we were growing up and we used to go in our school picnics, so we used to go to see these river beds and play around, and then there were these dry river beds. where you could only see pebbles and stones. So the river is flowing on one side, but there is a dry river bed on the other end. Our teachers used to tell us that the main course of the river is this. But over a period of time, it has changed its course, which is a very natural phenomenon. I'm sure in this region you would see that your parents, grandparents will say, this river used to flow from here, but now it has dried, it has turned its course. Sometimes that happens naturally, sometimes it is man made. We want to develop something, we will change the course. Mind it. And I have seen it by experience. Whenever there is excess rain, there can be cloud bursts. You've heard about this, right? Cloud burst. Or there is some kind of some extra rain, cyclone, etc., etc. I have seen it in the Uttarakhand hills. The rivers go back to their original course. They just go back to their original course. Why does that happen? The reason is that the water quantities keep reducing, and that's how you can change the course. When the water quantity becomes more, it runs through the same course. What we do as human beings, this area has got dried out after 50 years. Water doesn't come in here. We'll build buildings there. We'll have hotels. We'll have parks. We'll have houses. When water comes in, it just moves in. So the important thing is that please do scientific studies. Whatever. If you want to build dams, please do scientific study as to what will be the impact of the same on the ecology. And worldwide, it's not India only. If you see worldwide, dams are built, hydropowers are generated, but they do scientific studies and ensure that whichever are the very, very sensitive areas are not touched. Otherwise, all the actions are taken first before you get into the act. And that is what is important from our perspective. And I'm sure because in today's time, technology is strong. Government is very, very proactively looking at technology to help out any project that comes in. And that would first help the nature, then development. It has to coexist. Nature and development have to coexist. You cannot have a win-loss situation. You have to have a win-win between nature and development. And I think it's a very well accepted norm by Government of India as well, that whenever we go for our approvals, the first thing the Government of India Ministry of Environment will look at is how the nature gets impacted, whether it is in mining, whether it is in forest. So I think it's a very, very strong point that we have to have coexistence and have a win-win between nature and development.
Thank you, sir. And last one question from my side. What are the initiatives from CSR beside production side you are doing in the field?
So we have divided our CSR into two major buckets. One is called the signature program. The other is called the proximate programs. Signature programs are the one which has a very high impact on the lives of people, like the health programs, the education program. Then we have a tribal identity program, a development corridor program, etc., etc. And proximate programs are the ones which are in the areas where we operate, like the agriculture, lives and livelihood, watershed programs, right? Something to that effect. So what we do is that we pick up a program and we don't do it as a project for 1 year or 6 months. We do it over, signature programs are run for many years. Like our health program, which is Mansi, which is for maternal health and child health, has been running for the last 10-11 years now. And it is done in Jharkhand and Orissa. Predominantly Jharkhand we have saturated. And we also run through a model called the saturation model. We, as I said, we look at lives impacted.